This week in green. Floating on the surface of a 12-mile-long reservoir in South Korea, you'll find 92,000 solar panels in the shape of plum blossoms. As a country, South Korea has a long way to go in order to reach their climate goals. But by creating these 17 giant solar flowers that generate 41 megawatts, it's enough to power 20,000 homes. And it's become quite the tourist attraction. Now known as one of the largest floating solar panel plants in the world, the reservoir located in the southern county of Hapcheon was built by Hanwha Solutions Corp. Pairing solar panels to water sources can increase their efficiency by as much as 10%, as the surrounding water helps them remain cooler and can decrease hostile algae blooms in the area. It's a perfect solution in a country that doesn't have a lot of available land due to pre-existing buildings and agriculture. However, floating solar projects are more expensive. About 1,400 residents have invested around $2.6 million in the project and requested that the panels be arranged in the shape of flowers to make it visually appealing. I have to say that choosing the shape of plum blossoms was cute, but if South Korea wants to kick it up a notch in the fight against climate change, they should design the next floating solar panels in the shape of all 7 members of the K-pop phenomenon BTS. Now that is what I call star power.
You know, I often wonder, how many homes can you keep running with star power?
Yeah.
Probably more.
More,
Probably more than with solar.
Yes,
or with wind.
Yes.
Or nuclear. I mean, is there anything greater than the power of BTS solar?
Power, that's
BTS
what I was thinking.
Star?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, and I was, of course, having fun with the idea of solar power, star power, whatever. But BTS, you know, those guys, those fans, they're crazy. I mean, they're crazy awesome, but that's like the most loyal fan base in the world. If you
put them in hamster balls and just let them run, think about how much energy you could generate there.
No, now we're
Dance
talking.
balls.
We need to get the 7 members of BTS in hamster balls.
Yes.
And
then
their
all their
fans
fans, too.
chase them.
Yes.
And then they just run.
And the fans chasing them in hamster balls, and they just go around, and there you go. South Korea is powered.
You power all of Korea with that much
done.
energy.
It's
but anyway.
finished. Yeah.
But it's a pleasant story. Or if you're a fan of the podcast and you followed us for a long time, I think in our first year we were on the air, we talked about solar panels that were in the shape of pandas.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's cool to see these kind of creative moves in order to get people excited about it. And one thing that's interesting is this reservoir as a talking point. So Hapcheon Dam was built in the late 1980s during the military dictatorship of Chun Du-hwan. And back then, the villagers were forcibly evicted in order to promote hydropower and irrigation. So that was kind of a negative experience. It was like everybody was forced out. They had to build this dam. But now in the modern era, it's changed tremendously. And now the people wanted this to happen. And here's this water that they were able to utilize to build these solar panels, and it wasn't on the land. And it is really a pleasant sight to see. So I thought it was a really inspiring story, and I think South Korea is on the right path.
Absolutely, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. The more creative we can be with this, the better it'll be. I mean, so often, a lot of the stuff you go to visit when you're going to some place, or you're going to, if people who are fortunate enough to get out to Dubai to see some of the crazy architecture and cool stuff they have there, or Las Vegas or whatever else, a lot of it is, how unusual is this thing? What's the unique thing that I'm looking at? What is, and then it's a good way to both create energy and also make something that's a tourist attraction. It's kind of fun. It's notable. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. We'll have more for you soon.